Hill, Peyton Carroll Hill, 25W837277.
For Zelenak, for the defendant, Your Honor, I can contact the guardian ad litem who is available to zoom in, but she was placed yesterday into a rehab facility from the mental health institution. And Lieutenant Toller is going to examine whether they want to proceed because she's done more time in rehabilitation and inpatient than she would have done if she pled guilty and got 90 days. So we'd ask for an adjournment. I can contact, if you'd like, she's available, but I think it's pointless. Her name is Mariana Gill.
I just kind of need an answer going forward, but actually we haven't even arraigned her, have we?
No, you haven't, Your Honor.
Lisa, give me a date 2 weeks out and we'll figure something out. You guys can figure out if they're going to go forward. If they are, great. If they're not, that's fine too. So I'm sorry.
April 2nd at 8:45.
Very well.
Is that good with you?
Yes.
Okay, and what's your other one?
Well, I've got Mr. Ford here on the specialty court bond violation, and I've got Ms. Sturgill here, Your Honor.
Can you?
Now, he's already talked to Emily, because we moved it from the afternoon to this morning.
Let's pull the file then. Diane Marie Sturgill, 25W836193. You can come on up to the podium, ma'am.
Step right here. Good morning, Edward Zelenak, appearing for the defendant. Ma'am, give your name to the judge.
Diane Sturgill.
Good morning.
Waive reading escort standard mute, enter plea not guilty.
All right, I'll enter a not guilty plea, and then she's going to plead for purposes of arraignment. And as I understand it, she's going to plead guilty to the added count of operating while impaired with the OWI to be dismissed, right?
That's correct, Your Honor. She's prepared to provide a factual basis for a plea at this time.
Is that what you want to do, ma'am?
Yes.
If you plead guilty here, the possible penalties are up to $300 in fines, 93 days jail, 360 hours community service, court costs, or all of those. 4 points will be added to your traffic record. Your license will be suspended or revoked in accordance with your record. Your vehicle could be or might have to be immobilized depending upon your record. You understand that?
Yes.
I'm gonna need a bond sheet. You are presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a trial by court or trial by jury. At a trial, you have the right to remain silent or testify. If you remain silent, that silence would not be held against you. You have the right to question their witnesses, to bring in your own, to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. If you plead guilty, you're giving up all those rights. You're waiving your constitutional right to a jury trial, and you're waiving the requirement that they prove you guilty by beyond a reasonable doubt, keeping in mind that you have the presumption of innocence. Do you understand all that?
Yes.
All right. Any questions on your rights?
You don't have any questions?
No, I don't.
All right. To the charge of operating while visibly impaired, how do you plead?
Guilty.
On February 22 of 25 at 3:29 p.m., were you operating a motor vehicle at or near 22172 West Road in Woodhaven?
Yes.
And did you drink alcohol prior to that? And if so, what did you drink and how much did you drink?
I had about 12 drinks, sir.
What kind of drinks?
I kind of mixed like liquor,
What kind of liquor?
vodka,
Vodka with what?
vodka and like Sprite. I had also whiskey as well.
All right. Was your ability to operate that motor vehicle impaired due to the consumption of the alcohol?
At the time, yes.
And why were you pulled over by the police?
I went to McDonald's to get something to eat. I thought I was okay, but once I got there, everything kind of got foggy. So I must have hit somebody, I guess.
You struck the car in front of you?
Yes.
In the drive-through?
In the drive-through.
It says she caused a 3-vehicle traffic crash.
Pushed it into the third car, yes, Your Honor.
Is that right, ma'am?
Yes.
So you hit the rear-ended one, that rear-ended another, that rear-ended another?
Yes.
And you think that occurred because of your alcohol consumption?
Yes.
So I'm looking at this now, the citation, she had a .305.
Mr. Honor, there's a problem with alcohol, which I believe she's taking steps, and I know the court will make certain that she has no further problems. Her mother's present here with her, and she indicated that there was a history in the family. This is her first offense, but she's had to come to grips with that issue. That's an awful high blow. They took you to the hospital, is that correct?
Yes.
It's because you were at the level where they thought there could be something seriously wrong with you.
Yes.
All right, do you stipulate, Mr. Zolnick, that was an accurate reading for purposes of the plea?
Certainly is. It's irrefutable with that device, Your Honor.
And did they have, was it an intoxicator or was it a blood draw?
To the breathalyzer police station.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was either at the scene or at the police station. I'm not 100%.
Are you on probation or parole?
No,
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
no.
Okay, I'm gonna accept your guilty plea. I find the plea has been made voluntarily and understandingly. The plea is accepted to operating while impaired. The OWI is dismissed. I'm gonna refer you for a screening and assessment. So you're gonna fill out a questionnaire today and be interviewed, and then you'll come back for sentence. I'm concerned about this. Anything you want to say regarding bond?
Your Honor, I asked the court, since she turned herself in and I filed my appearance 2 days after she was charged, that you allow her to have a personal bond, substantial cash, usual terms, and how many days a week are you doing AA generally since the,
3.
how about outpatient counseling or therapy? Are you in therapy at the present time?
I actually have an appointment this Friday.
All right, here's
Whatever's
what
normal, Judge, whatever you prefer.
I understand. All right, I'm gonna give you a $1,000 personal bond. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. You're not to have any contact with any of the victims, any of these people that you struck. You cannot write, phone, see, text, email, or communicate with them or have anybody else do any of those things for you or on your behalf. Also, no contact with prosecution witnesses. I do want you going to, there's no alcohol, obviously. You cannot purchase, possess, or consume alcohol, marijuana, or illegal drugs. I want you going to AA, NA, or any combination of AA, NA at least 4 times a week. We're going to hand you a form again. Every time you go, you have to have the form signed, and every time you come to court, you have to bring the form with you. Do you understand that? Also, I'm sorry, I'm going to order that you be on a SoberLink device by the end of the day. This is scary. This is really high. Okay, so you're going to make arrangements with probation. They'll tell you you're going to have to get out to Livonia and get a SoberLink, a machine that you're going to blow into. I'll give you a sentence date, and we'll go from there. Give her
April
another
2nd at 8:30.
April 2nd at 8:30, Mr. Zelnick. Is that's good with you?
I think so. I have another case here.
Right. We just set
Good
that.
morning.
Okay. Give her another AA slip, John. Thanks. So,
Yeah,
ma'am,
the
you'll
earlier the
take
better on this case, Your Honor. She wants to get this under control, so I agree.
Good. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
see you back here. Go over to probation. First, go down and get your notice and then go over to probation.
Thank
And
you
as
so
soon
much.
as I get that other file, I'll call that other one. I don't,
I'll take her across and I'll ask them to send it over. He did check in and told me he was up this morning, instead of this afternoon. I'll bring it right back.
thank you. Darnell Clark,
Don't go in.
25W37 686 A, B, and C. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Chris Shemke, here on behalf of my client, who stands to my immediate left.
Sir, your name?
Darnell Clark.
All right, this is an operating while intoxicated. First of all, for purposes of arraignment,
We waive formal reading. My client stands mute.
not guilty, pleas entered. What was the blood or breath draw on this?
Judge, I just got retained on this matter. I filed a discovery request,
Okay,
and there was no police report in the file.
does he have any priors?
Not to my knowledge, Judge. He's not on probation or parole.
All right, 0.115, $1,000 personal bond. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate any law or ordinance. You must appear in court as directed. No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. You're not to purchase, possess, or consume any one of those. I'm gonna give you a new court date. You'll go down the hall and get that notice, okay? You understand all that?
Yes.
All right, so we'll give you a new court date, Lisa. What do you got for me?
April 2nd at 8:45.
Your Honor, I was going to ask for the following. I know you're here the prosecutor for you is here every other 2 weeks. I was going to ask for the 16th,
Is that good, Lisa?
and I won't be asking for any other adjournments, Judge.
I got it.
16th at 8:30.
16th at 8:30. So you go down the hall and get your notice, okay, sir? And then we'll see you back here April 16th. Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else?
At some point, do I just have to get the discovery request form for you that's been signed? And then
Should I sign that yet? Let me see here. Yes, I did sign it. Sorry.
Okay.
So you can take that down and they'll give you a copy of that. Thank you.
Thank
Mr. Mijas, good morning. Your appearance?
Good morning, Your Honor. Harry Mijas on behalf of Vasilios Grias, who is seated next to me.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Sir, your name, good morning. Your name, sir?
Vasilios Grias.
All right, so he was in here for arraignment. This is going to be a plea to impeding traffic on file B. Prosecutor will move to dismiss the disobeyed traffic signal and also the suspend charge once he pleads also to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. Is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, that is punishable by up to 500 fines, 90 days jail, costs or all of those. If you plead on the impeding, that's 0 points. It won't go on your record. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to a trial by court or jury. At a trial, you have the right to bring in your own witnesses, use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights. And there will not be a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions on your rights?
No, Your Honor.
To the charge allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Were you in control of a motor vehicle that was being operated on January 21 of 25 at 3:20 p.m. on Hall near Ford in Woodhaven, that being a 2005 Chevrolet?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you allow somebody to drive that was unlicensed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was you, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were actually revoked, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
To the charge impeding traffic, how do you plead, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
All right, I'll accept that plea. Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody force you to plead guilty or promising to induce you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to accept your plea. I find it to be an accurate plea made voluntarily and understandingly. The plea is accepted to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and impeding traffic. The suspend, revoke, denied is dismissed. The disobeyed traffic signal is dismissed. Mr. Mijas, anything you would like to say before I sentence him?
Your Honor, he's midway through the process of getting his license restored. He has retained Greg Bulahanis to help him do so. He's well on his way towards having a valid license again. He is the sole provider for his brother, who has cerebral palsy. He is working hard to make sure that he's lawful again. I would ask that you could, if you assign fines, that you do so at a minimal level as he is investing in his license and taking care of his brother.
Sir, anything you would like to say?
No, Your Honor.
You can't drive on a revoked, okay? Don't come back here on one of these, all right? 100 fines, 175 costs, 75 victims' rights, $50 justice assessment, 400 or 90 days, and 175 on the impeding, 575. Can you pay all that today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you can pay that. You can either come in here or you can go right on 33court.com with your case number, and
I will
there's
come by
no
there.
fee as long as you're, pardon? What's
I
that?
will be by there.
Okay, have a good day. Thanks, Mr. Mias. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Always good to see you.
You too. Kyrie Wednesday Carter Ward 2 4F2422983.
Hello.
All right, Officer Denson, your name?
Hello.
Mr. Ward, you have to take your hat and your glasses off for me, please.
What? I can't see without my glasses. Why did I take my glasses off?
All right, well, if you need your glasses to see, that's fine. I thought they were safety glasses or something. You're fine. State your name, please.
Kyrie Ward.
Okay, and Officer Denson, your name?
Officer Denson, Flat Rock Police Department.
All right, so he's got 3 speedings on here, including this one, which he defaulted on. And I set a motion to set aside default judgment and indicated that I wanted the staff to set it for hearing. I don't have any problem with setting it aside. Do you? He's got 2 priors. There's an excuse on here. Any objection to that? I guess I'm asking, officer.
No objection with that, Your Honor.
Any objection offering him impeding?
No objection with that. I'm okay with it.
You want to plead to impeding traffic, Mr. Ward?
Yes, sir.
All right, to that charge, so I'm setting aside the default judgment. You plead to impeding, the speed's dismissed. To that charge of impeding, responsible or not responsible.
Responsible.
All right, let me just say this. Okay, you got to be more careful with these when you get a ticket, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Is the bond in his name, Lisa?
Let me check. Yeah, it's in his name. It's
Yes,
Cash
it is. All right. Look, I'm going to charge you 175. Refund the balance. We're sending it to this John C. Lodge address, okay?
Okay.
Is that the one you want it sent to? That's where you live?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll send that out, 175. You got to be here on time next time, okay? Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
Tiffany Reed, can you see where that other file is? Tiffany Nicole Reed, Chew for B1470918 and B and 23W8334458. Mr. Zolnix, David Ford is his last name. I thought I had it on my desk this morning.
I don't want to interrupt.
No, it's not. Everything's
Right.
Yeah, it's over there. It's got to be over there. I think I sent that in with the, you have it. Ms. Reed, your name?
Tiffany Reed.
All right, I'm going to arraign you on a failure to pay 213 and failure to pay 282.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
so
why aren't you paying your tickets?
well, to be honest with you, I resolved all my tickets. I paid $2,000. I got my license back, and I was trying to get insurance at the time, and because I was defaulted, and because I had the suspension on my account, they wanted $1,500. I'm a single mom. My fiance just went to prison. I lost my job because I got the suspension from my license. So like I got an eviction too because I lost my job. Like I don't know. I'm not made of money. I don't know what to do. I can't drive. I got to get my son to school every day. Like I
All
don't know
right,
what to
settle
do.
down.
I know
Yeah.
I'm stressed out. I don't know what to do about it. And I'm nervous to go to jail, and I don't want to go to jail.
Nobody wants to send you to jail, but you
Okay.
got to come and communicate. You got to come and communicate with judges, okay?
Okay.
When you don't communicate with us, it makes us think that you just don't care about authority or the system or anything else. If you talk to people and say, listen, I can't pay this. You want me to eat, don't you, Judge? That's one thing.
Yeah, doctor.
But
I think it was
ignoring
Miss Coleman.
just slow down. I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
But just ignoring us like this is not the answer. So whoever is teaching you that kind of nonsense, make sure you tell them they're wrong, okay? Will you do that for me, please?
Isn't this my first court date with you?
It's your first court date with me, but you didn't pay. You went into default on these. These are from November. You had another payment plan in front of Judge Hessen here that it looks like you didn't pay anything on, and you didn't come and talk to her and say, Judge, can I have an extension? So I'm just going by the records. Wait. I'm just going by the records that I have. How much money do you have to pay today?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know because when my last court date with her, we agreed and I paid everything full that day. I paid it was like $2,000. I did the reinstatement fee
Wait
for
a
my
minute,
license.
slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I have one file in front of me. It's a driving while allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. It's out of Woodhaven. She ordered you to pay $105 a month starting November 18th of 24, and it looks like you haven't paid a nickel.
But I have all the paperwork showing my reinstatement fees and everything that I paid that. My mom was there with me. But we paid $2,000.
Hang on.
Judge, she does have other cases that she paid in August of 24.
I know, I'm sure that there were other cases, ma'am. We don't make mistakes like that here. We don't make mistakes like that here. Yo, 282 plus 45 on the no proof of insurance. You can't drive without insurance. You owe 213 on the expired plate, and you owe $387 on the drive while allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. Now, I don't want to make a big issue of this, but you're going to have to come up with some money. I'm not gonna send you to jail, but you're gonna go into suspension on this no proof, if you haven't already. She hasn't yet, right?
Let me check.
She
Okay.
might have. It looks like she did.
Yeah, she is.
You're in suspension on that now. See, you can't just,
Well, okay, this is where I'm confused though, Judge. I thought when I was in there with the Ms. Coleman that I paid all that in full. I did, however, get pulled over by Brownstown and I got 2 tickets with them, but I did have my license reinstated. So I don't know where this other driving on a suspension with you guys in Woodhaven is. I thought those were resolved.
Do you want me to
Judge
explain?
Hessen's, no, Judge Hessen sentenced you in October on that charge. I'm sure you've paid others. Nobody's excusing that. Nobody is taking that away from you. You paid the others, but you let these go into default. You didn't call us, and you got the case with Judge Hessen. So I don't know what to tell you. How much can you pay today?
I don't have anything today. But I do want to set up a payment plan if I can, so I could start trying to figure something out to pay towards it.
Okay, but before you get all uptight, let's just put this in perspective. You've missed court dates here. This case should have been done with. You got this ticket, the one out of Woodhaven. I'm talking out of the city of Woodhaven, on December 7th of 23. So you've had already 16 months to pay on that.
Yeah, that's the one I'm confused about. That whole case, I thought that's when I got my car impounded and everything. I thought that was all paid off with that last court date I had with her. The only other
She would not have set a payment plan. You just tell me what you can afford to pay.
$50.
Today or when?
Can you give me till next week?
How often you gonna pay $50?
I can try every 2 weeks or, I mean, that's kind of, I don't know. I have a lot, I have an eviction right now that I'm facing because I lost doing Uber due to
All right,
this.
slow down.
Huge mess.
Slow down. Just listen to me. I'm gonna give you some leeway time.
I appreciate it.
But the problem is you're in suspension now.
I know, and it's hard because I'm a single mom and I have to get my son to school every day. It's hard.
All right, let's do this. Even though you've been irresponsible here, Lisa, I'm gonna let her pay the $45 clearance fee first, okay?
Thank you.
She's gonna understand that if I'm going out of my way like this, I expect you to show the courts a little bit of respect.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I do. I appreciate it.
Well, you pay $50 bi-weekly. Here's what I'm gonna have you do. Beginning now, I can't lift this suspension until you pay that, okay? I don't ever do that, by the way.
I appreciate you for doing that.
Well, I don't want to be appreciated. I want you to
take care
be more
of it.
mature about
Yes.
be more mature about this. I'm going to say you pay $50 bi-weekly. I won't make you start this until April 4th, but the quicker you pay this, $45, and I'm going to make a note here, Lisa. Defendant can pay clearance fee first.
Judge, I also want to let you
that,
know that my I'm waiting on my state income tax too. So once I get that, I could pay it all in full probably.
All right. I'll tell you what, I'll just say you pay $50 by April 4th.
Okay.
Fines, costs due on these. Are you gonna have enough to pay all of these?
What is the total amount?
387 plus 327 is 687, 694 plus 213 is 907.
Okay.
If I give you till May 1st, you're gonna be able to pay all of these.
I should have my income tax by then, definitely, yes. If there's no delay.
You pay all of these by May 1.
Okay.
All right.
Now, is
Just
that
give me 1
907
second.
including the
Slow down,
fee?
slow down. Just give me 1 second. Let me make some notes. All right, I'm gonna let you pay this. You pay all of these by May 1.
Okay.
I would pay the clearance fee first.
Okay, and that's what, $45?
$45. So the quicker if you pay that today, that suspension will be lifted. You'll have to look at your record or talk to the Secretary of State about the rest. You're gonna
Okay.
pay all the rest of these by May the 1st. I'm
right.
reducing the expired, hang on, just let me finish.
Mhm.
Expired plate charge reduced to $165. The no proof of insurance charge reduced to $200 plus clearance fee. So I'll reduce that from 327 to 245 essentially. And the other one I'm going to take down to 165 from 213. This other one you're going to have to pay in full.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
If you need
Thank
more time, you come and talk to me. Don't ignore us. Good luck.
I will, I promise.
Don't
Thank
make-
you.
Life's hard enough without making your own
I know that. That's right. Thank you. I
life
appreciate you.
miserable. Good luck. Thank you.
All right, thanks. You have a good day. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Can you call in, Emily, the people against David Maurice Ford, 25W836770A. All right, Mr. Zelnick, your appearance.
Edward Zelenak, appearing before the defendant. Give your name, Mr. Ford.
David Maurice Ford.
So this is a sobriety court case, and I have a charge that alleges he failed to appear for his weekly testing at DNA on March 10. How is he going to plead
Well,
on
he's
it?
going to plead guilty with an explanation.
Is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes, sir.
If you plead guilty here, I want you to understand your bond could be revoked and you could be in, well, it's high bond set. The bond could be revoked, release revoked, bond forfeited, and a new bond set. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to a hearing on this. If you plead guilty, you're giving up all the rights you've heard me talk about. Your right to a hearing, your right to remain silent, your right to question witnesses, to bring in your own, to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. If you plead guilty to this violation, you'll be giving up your right to a contested hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
To the charge you failed to appear for weekly testing at DNA on March 10, of 25, how do you plead?
Pleading guilty.
I'm guilty.
Did you fail to appear?
I failed to appear.
Why?
I was caught by a train.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Please accepted. Your name? What would you like to say, Mr. Zelnick?
I guess he came tested the next day and he was okay.
Is that true?
He did. My main purpose in issuing that is, he has had a few testing issues. I only included the one. He was having issues providing a sample. Since then, he did provide proof from his doctor of a medical issue that he's now getting unobserved testing.
With pat down.
Yeah.
All right, listen, this is not baseball. You know what I mean? If you get 3 hits every 4 at bats, they pay you $86 million a year. We don't do this with sobriety court. You got to be at everything. You can't miss these. I'm not going to make a big issue of this, but you got to show up or you're not going to make it. How many times has he missed?
So he had one other miss on March 2nd because it was a weekend and he didn't know there was a morning. So I worked with him on that one.
Do you know all the dates now? Everybody's open?
Yes, sir. I call every morning.
All right, but I mean the times, there's different times, like on Sundays, they're only open, what,
In the morning.
nowadays, 6:30 to 9:30, and Saturdays, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm not gonna make a big issue, but you gotta stick with this or you're not gonna make it, all right?
I'm doing my
I'll
best.
just continue your bonds, but you gotta get there, not do your best. Don't put it up to the fate of a train, all right? That's it, and we'll see you back here for sentencing then.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Thanks, Mr. Zelnick.
I wanted to tell you he's a descendant of Henry Ford, but other than that, I have nothing else to say.
Take care.
And thank you for letting me come in person because it's like watching TV here. Not really court TV, more like one of those shows on Fox when I see what goes on the screen. Judge, thank you.
See ya.
The blue lights, thank you.
Take care. Jemima,
Thanks, Your
Jemima,
Honor.
thank you very much. Jemima Obeng. Jemima Annette Obeng.
Nathan Oben. No.
I don't have Nathan Obeng's file.
It's. Hold on, sir. There's two different over.
Oh, there is Nathan Adu Obeng,
Yes, sir.
24W83443. All right. You have the right to a lawyer. You got a suspend charge here. You have the right to a lawyer. I'll be happy to give you one at public expense. Would you like a lawyer?
Yes.
You have A, B, and C. You got a suspend charge, expired plate charge, and no proof insurance, and you're in default on these other charges.
Yes, sir.
2 civil infractions.
Yes, sir.
You want a lawyer? Woodhaven today here?
Yeah.
Come in the Woodhaven. Go talk to a lawyer. You got to show up, sir.
Yeah, like I said, I was going to express to you, pretty much fell on hard times. Just
Go
got back
ahead
on
and
my
talk to
feet.
the lawyer and then you
Yeah.
guys come in, okay?
Mhm.
Got to come in and talk to us. Are you Jemima?
No,
No?
no, that's I don't know. I'm confused. That's my daughter named Jemiah, but she's fine.
No, it's Jemima
Oh,
Obeng.
Your Honor, that might have been put up on accident.
Well, I don't know if
I
it
didn't
is or
see his
not.
last name. I didn't-
Defendant failed to appear. Jemima and Annette. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, that was scheduled for 8:40. So defendant
Yeah.
failed to appear for show cause, bench warrant to issue, any existing bond to be forfeited. And I'm gonna set a bond of 129 cash or surety on that, Lisa. All right, so why don't you take Mr. Obeng to the lawyers and we'll see what we can do on that, okay? Rodolfo Antonio Perdomo, 24W8367662 A, B, and C. All right. Your appearance?
Interpreter.
I'm gonna make a note, interpreter appeared, defendant failed to appear, willful intent to delay adjudication. I gave him an adjournment before. He missed the show cause. I'm gonna go ahead and issue a bench warrant, forfeit the bond, 3,010%. 3,010%. So warrant to issue bond to be forfeited and Lisa, I want to make sure there was part of a plea agreement that was supposed to take place on February 19th. I want to make sure this civil infraction is not dismissed. I wrote it down. We never took it off. It's not dismissed, right?
No, it's not.
So we're going to enter default judgment now. Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm sorry you came in and you can submit your bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Good day.
And that's on file B2. I'm going to go ahead and then failed to appear. 1,010% will be the new bond. 1,010% will be the new bond. People against Malone, Darren Marcus Malone. 25T644-679.
Layton.
Mr. Malone, your name?
Darren Malone.
Officer Kless, good morning.
Good morning.
Your appearance, officer?
Officer Kless, City of Trenton.
We have an informal hearing. Do you still want your hearing, Mr. Malone, or do you wish to plead responsible?
I want the hearing.
Officer Kless, Mr. Malone, raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, so help you God? Officer?
I do.
Yeah.
Mr. Malone?
I do.
Okay, officer, go ahead.
On February 6, 2025, in the city of Trenton, County of Wayne, at approximately 4:33 p.m., I observed a tractor trailer traveling down Van Horn Road between Allen and Fort Street with a 53-foot trailer, which That roadway is classified as a Wayne County Class B non-designated roadway, so he cannot have a 53-foot trailer on it. He would be over length. I stopped the tractor trailer for the violation, measured him out, and he was 70 feet, which he's only about 59 feet. And the max trailer he is allowed is only 50 feet. And he was issued a citation for over length.
All right. Do you have any questions of him, Mr. Malone?
Yes, I want to know, how am I supposed to know if I'm breaking the law if there's no signs posted stating that I'm not supposed to take that road?
He's asking you, officer.
Oh, me? So it is the driver's responsibility in Wayne County to know where they can and cannot take a 53-foot trailer and where they can, you obviously can't take it down residential roads, but they got to know what roads are Class B non-designated in Wayne County. There's multiple Class A roads. There's multiple specialty routes that they can take or interstate routes that they can take. But between that section, between Allen and Fort Street, it is on the Wayne County truckers map. It is designated as Class B non-designated roadway, and there are no signs, but trucks are allowed to go down it. So they can't post a no truck sign because trucks are allowed to go down there. You just can't have a 53-foot trailer on it. So it's the driver's responsibility.
So am I supposed to ride around with a tablet with the internet on it?
Well, I mean, there's no sense arguing with him. They're not going to have signs posted all over the county. He's right. It is your responsibility. You might disagree with them, but he doesn't write laws. I mean,
but if there was a sign there, I wouldn't even take that road.
Okay.
Because I try to obey all the traffic laws and signs.
Well, I'm sure you do. This isn't a criminal charge. It's a civil infraction. There's no intent required.
Yeah, but I don't want no points on my license and, for something I didn't have no, if there's no signs, how can I be held responsible?
Lisa, remind me on this over height. Is there points on that?
No, I don't believe so.
I don't either.
There's no points, Your Honor, for it.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So there's no points. Anything else, Mr. Malone?
My company, they posted a memo, so my team members won't take that road no more. Would like for you to throw it out.
Well, I'm not going to throw it out. I can't throw it out. That's up to you guys to, I can't throw it out, sir. I'm sorry. I'm going to find you responsible as charged. I can cut the fines down a little bit. I'll make them $200. Can you pay that today?
Not today, but if you give me time to not take care of it.
Can you pay it in a week?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll just give you until next Wednesday. Is that enough time?
That's enough time.
March 26th. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you. Daniel Allen Geis, 22F2388574. So Mr. Geis told me it wasn't him. I told him he was, I didn't believe him. He's not here. I'm not shocked. Defendant failed to appear. Warrant issue, 213 cash or surety. I'll just make a note. He did not appear. And again, that's not surprising. And I thought I'd give him a break and let him come in and talk to me like a man. And apparently he chose not to do that. So I'll issue the warrant. And next time he won't be so lucky. Amour, Leshan, Cheryl, limit 25W8378718A in B.
Right to the podium, man.
Okay. What case are you here on? Oh, give me 1 second. Let me recall it. Your name?
Amor Mimic.
You're charged with driving on a suspended
Yes.
and no insurance. You have the right to a lawyer. I'll be glad to give you one if you want one. Do you want a lawyer?
I don't care for one though.
So I'll arraign you and then I'll send you to the prosecutor, okay?
Okay.
It is alleged that you did operate a motor vehicle on Allen near Gatehouse in Woodhaven, March 3 of 25 at 9:49 p.m. with a suspended license. That is a misdemeanor. It is punishable by up to 500 fines, 93 days jail. Costs are all those and 2 points. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And no proof of insurance is a civil infraction. You understand that?
Yes.
Did you sign, read, and understand
Yes.
the advice of rights form?
Yes.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights and there will not be a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. You still wish to waive your right to a lawyer?
I'll take a lawyer, but I
Slow
was
down.
driving.
Slow down.
I said, I'll take a lawyer, but I was driving on the suspended.
You don't need to tell me that. Just let me get you a lawyer. I'm gonna enter a not guilty plea. We'll set you up with a lawyer for a pretrial with Woodhaven, okay?
Okay.
Daniel Allen Geis recalling that 22F238574. Come on up here.
Right here.
Your name?
Officer Daniel, Black Rock.
Good morning. So he was in here insisting it wasn't him. I was very, very, very confident it was him, okay? But I thought I'd bring you in here and he'd at least maybe grow up a little bit. I'm not shocked that he's not here. You heard what I said. He's gonna come back. He's not gonna be so lucky next time.
Sure.
Sorry to have dragged you in here. You're all set. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Nathan Obeng, 23W832360, 24W834443, 25W837826 A, B, and C. Your name?
Nathan the Duo being.
All right.
Morning, Your Honor. Michael A. Carter, 73824, on behalf of the defendant.
Okay, so on the suspend, does he stand mute, wait for a reading?
Yes, sir.
$500 personal bond on that. You cannot leave the state without consent or violate a law. You must appear in the court as directed. You're gonna pay these other two, right? You got these bonds posted, so we can just apply the money on these other two,
Correct.
right? Let me just double check and make sure they're in your name. I don't see the bond receipts in here. Let me just double check the other. Yes, it is. Okay, so it looks like both these are in his name, right?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
We're gonna apply the bonds, the payment of fines costs on the other one,
Yeah.
other two cases.
By the other two, do you mean the expired plate with no insurance?
No, I mean the cases that have been outstanding.
Speeding.
834443, that is a violation of the basic speed law. And the other one's a speeding. One's from 24, one's from 23. These three I'm not doing anything with except entering plea of denials on the civil infractions, the ones that were written on February 19th.
And the speedings are both in default, correct, Your Honor?
Let me see here. No, I don't think we put him in default. He's not in default on those two civil infractions. The other one's, is he, Lisa?
No.
So I'll give you, you can fill out a petition for a court-appointed lawyer. I'm gonna give you a court date of, what is it, April 2nd?
April 2nd at 9 o'clock.
So, sir, you're gonna fill out a petition for a court appointed. I'll appoint you a lawyer on the cases out of Woodhaven from February the 19th. And then you go down and sign your bond over and deal with them on the bonds on these other two cases, okay?
Your Honor, can you hold off on that? Because I talked to the prosecutor, we were hoping to do just a global resolution on all of them. If they're not in default, I would ask that
Well, these others have been in default for 2 years.
the speedings.
The speeding from 23 has been in the default since September 23.
Yes, that's what I was asking about, Judge.
No.
I was asking if they're in default, then yes, he should apply the bond. That's what I was asking a minute ago. If
These
those were-
two are in default from 23 and 24.
That's what I was asking.
The other ones are not in default.
Okay, yeah, those are the ones I was asking about. Okay, totally understood.
Okay, thank
Go
you.
apply
All
the bond.
right, good luck, sir. Go down the hall and talk to them and fill out your petition for court appointed.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Merle LaShawn, Cheryl Lamette, 25W8378718 and B. Do you have any cases in there for me, guys? Okay, all right, thanks. Bye. Ma'am, your name?
What you say?
Your name?
A more limit?
You talked to a lawyer though, right?
Yes. He told me to contact the other courthouses to see if I could set up.
Okay, I don't want to know what he told you. All right. Where's Mr. Carmen? Who'd you meet with, Mr. Carmen?
Yes. He said he was going to talk to the
289. Lisa, give me a date in a couple of weeks. Where do you work at, ma'am?
I work at the airport
So
for
you-
the airport.
Yeah, you gonna be able to get all these tickets taken care of?
If by a certain time frame, no, but I can. It's just I will have to be put on a payment plan.
I mean, I don't mind doing 4 weeks here, Lisa.
Okay.
April 16th at 8:30.
I can wait for your lawyer. He's busy with other people. I'm just gonna adjourn it and get you out of here, okay? But you do have to fill out a petition for a court-appointed lawyer going forward, all right? So we'll hand you that. Sit down, fill it out. Once you're done, go down the hall and get your new notice, okay? For April 16th. We'll give you a
What is
handwritten.
it that I have to fill out?
It's a petition for a court-appointed lawyer.
Petition for appointed lawyer?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay?
Do I ask the front desk? for
No, we're
that?
gonna give you that right here. You have a seat right there at that table.
Okay.
All right. People against Karen Pasquale, Kara Emma Pasquale, 25W8376662. Is the officer here, Lisa? Officer Guzman? Officer, your name? Good morning, officer. Your name? You're muted.
Good morning, Your Honor. Officer Guzman.
Ms. Pasquale, your name?
Hi, Karen Pasquale.
So you're charged with disobey the traffic signal. You said you wanted an informal. I'm sure she'll offer you impeding again. I mean, she did offer you impeding. You don't want to plead to impeding? You want to go to this hearing still? I mean, she could ask me to amend the case. I'm not saying she's going to do that, amend the charge.
Well, Judge, she told me that it was yellow until I was under it and it turned red. So when I asked her superior officer about that, he said that didn't warrant a ticket.
What do you want to do, Ms. Guzman? Do you feel like she ran the red light here?
Your Honor, I already amended it down to impeding, so I'm willing to fight against it. Do you want me to just give the whole situation?
If you guys aren't going to resolve it, I'm just going to have you both swear. I'm going to swear you both in and let you speak. Raise your right hands. You solemnly swear or affirm under penalties of perjury the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the whole true self you got, Ms. Officer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Ms. Pasquale?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
go ahead.
All right. Yes, Your Honor. So on
I know you're a young officer. I'm just telling you what can happen when you write for impeding.
Okay.
You follow me?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
mean, you do what you want. I'm just telling you, then all your cards are kind of like out of your hand. You follow me? I mean,
Yes, Your Honor.
But go ahead. You go ahead now.
Yep. So on 2/5/2025 at approximately 11:17 hours, I was in the left-hand turn lane on Allen Road facing northbound. We had a blinking yellow
Left-hand
light.
turn, wait a minute, left-hand turn lane of Allen Road?
Yes, Your Honor, at the Allen Road and King Road intersection.
I see. And you were facing which direction?
I was facing northbound.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep, so I was facing northbound. We had a blinking yellow light. I was watching traffic proceed, traveling south and north. The north and south traffic the light turned yellow. And then I was watching traffic go through. I noticed a vehicle speed up to beat the yellow light. As that vehicle went through, it turned red. That vehicle had to pass another vehicle who stopped behind that yellow light in order to get past it. So I activated my lights. I initiated a traffic stop, made contact with the driver, who was Miss Karen Pasquale. I advised her the reason of the stop. She proceeded through the yellow light, and it turned red as she went through it. And then I gave her a citation for impeding traffic, cut it down a little bit, and she said that she passed the vehicle to get through the light because the car in front of her stopped, and she was afraid that she might hit it. That car in front of her had enough time to stop at the yellow light. Therefore, in my eyes, she purposely sped through it. She had more than enough time to stop for that yellow light. And then she stated that she went through a yellow light. It was not red as it turned through. I stated that it was. But in itself, going through an amber light is also a violation.
Right.
However, I still cut it down to impeding traffic.
Any questions of her?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Pasquale?
Does she have body cam that shows our conversation?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay. And then when we had our discussion, you did tell me that it was yellow when I went through it and it was red when I was under it.
Correct.
Correct. And I did not tell you that I tried to avoid a vehicle. I did not feel that it was safe to stop at a yellow light. So I followed the law and went through a yellow light that was not red until you said I
But
was
you know
under.
that you have to stop if you
Absolutely.
can on a yellow light, right?
Absolutely. I did not feel it was safe, and I had passed that car up way before that light turned yellow. So avoiding somebody stopping fast is not an unsafe driver or against the law either.
What do you mean by that? I don't understand what you guys are saying about passing a car. You were turning left onto eastbound on King, right? You were turning left on onto, wait a minute, you were going northbound. So you were turning left onto westbound King, right?
The officer was,
yes. Your Honor, I was, yes.
Yeah, and she was coming southbound on Allen and turning left onto King, right? So she was turning on the eastbound King.
No, I wasn't turning. I was going straight, Your Honor.
She was traveling straight, Your Honor.
Straight.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't
misunderstood.
slowing down at all. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Were you traveling northbound or southbound?
I was going southbound, if you're asking me.
I am. All right, so you're going southbound. And what car are you talking about that she was passing? Can you tell me? I'm not clear on that.
Yes, Your Honor. So she was in the middle lane. There was a car in front of her who stopped at the yellow light. She passed on the right side to avoid that vehicle to go through the yellow light.
She's interpreting.
Wait a minute, slow down. I guess I'm just losing it here. I'm not understanding. Maybe I got my head with one thing. She is going southbound, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you said the middle lane, there's a turn lane there on Allen and King, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's a turn lane there, and then there's 2 lanes going southbound and 2 lanes going northbound.
Yes, Your Honor. So she was in the
What do you
middle
mean
lane.
when you say, hang on, slow down. When you say middle lane, what lane are you talking about? There's only a middle left turn lane, and there's 2 northbound and 2 southbound lanes there. That's where you're throwing me.
I gotcha. So the 2 lanes that are heading southbound, you have the right lane, the center lane, and the left turning lane. She was in that center lane if we're talking about heading southbound.
I would call it the left lane of southbound Allen Road, but so you're saying she was going in the left lane, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
And she passed the car that you said was doing what?
There was a vehicle in front of her. She passed that vehicle into the right lane in the southbound lanes in order to go through that yellow light. That other vehicle was able to stop at the yellow light.
I see. Is
Your
that
Honor,
true?
that car had other it was also behind other vehicles. I went into the right lane because I wanted to go in the right lane. There was more cars in that lane. She can't interpret my thinking. And I was not speeding. I did not go through a red light. I did not stop abruptly because I had my grandchild in the car and I'm a safe driver and I wouldn't have.
What did she say to you when you stopped her, officer?
Yes, Your Honor. She told me that she avoided those vehicles, right? She was passing them because she felt she didn't have enough time to stop. However, in my defense, I feel that if those vehicles had time to stop, she had plenty of time to stop as well.
They were in a
Did you
totally
tell her
different.
that?
Yes,
Did you
Your
tell
Honor.
her that?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, but did you tell her that you switched lanes because you didn't have time to stop for the other vehicles?
I don't believe I told her that, Your Honor. All I did was tell her I changed lanes and that I would not stop because it wasn't safe for me. And whether I avoided a vehicle or not,
Why
I've got
wasn't
the
it
right to
safe?
change
But wait a
lanes.
minute, wait. That's where you're losing me. Why wasn't it safe for you to stop? Because the
I'm
other
just-
vehicles had stopped?
No, all I did in my defense of her was to tell her if I thought that the yellow light was so far yellow or that I should stop or that it changed with time for me to stop safely, I would have. I wasn't going to make an unsafe stop.
Okay, were the vehicles in front of you stopped or still moving? And
No,
in the
there was
left
no-
lane of southbound Allen Road?
There was multiple vehicles, but I turned the right lane way before any light change. And because, when you're able to change lanes at will, whether I changed lanes because I wanted to be in the right lane, or whether I changed lanes because there were so many cars in front of me, I don't know. I just changed lanes.
Well, I understand that. I want to ask you one more question. I'm not understanding though, when you're saying to me, I changed lane, I ran through the light or I went through the light, the yellow light, because I didn't feel like it was safe. Am I putting your words in your mouth or not?
Yeah, I think you misinterpreted me. What I meant to say was.
Okay, tell me again.
If the yellow light turned in time for me to stop safely, I would have. So there's no way that I thought that light had turned yellow to where I could stop safely. That's what a yellow light's for. If you can stop safely, you stop. If you can't, it's a yellow light that you're able to go through safely.
Do you have notes
Your
or
Honor,
anything,
also,
officer?
You're also, can I make one more point, officer?
Sure.
Judge? If she's under the light turning left, I kind of doubt she knows when that light was turning yellow and red.
I wasn't directly under it, Your Honor.
What car were you in the lineup of left-hand turn there?
Second, Your Honor. I had one vehicle in front of me.
And you're sure that she ran the red light, or at least was underneath the traffic signal?
Yes, Your Honor. She was the only vehicle that proceeded through.
And when you say that, are you sticking with your story that the other two vehicles or other vehicles in the left lane of southbound Allen had already stopped before she went through the intersection?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else that you want to say, officer?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Pasquale?
Your Honor, I have an impeccable record. I'm a safe driver. I follow the law. I know how to drive. I'm 63 years old. And I did not, and she admitted to me when she pulled me over that I did not run a red light, that it was red when it was under my car, my car was under the light. When I asked numerous police officers from Trenton and Woodhaven, and her her officer that I spoke with when I
Well,
showed up
they
before.
sometimes they want to lip off too. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I
mean,
figured I asked for an
don't-
honest opinion. and they-
Anybody knows that you have to stop on a yellow light if you
Yes,
can.
if I can.
And I don't, look, I understand. I'm just going to disagree with you. I'm going to find you responsible. It's 150. You can appeal this if you'd like to the other judge. If you want to just tell them, hey, I want to appeal that decision, it is 0 points. It's not going on your record, but you can feel free to appeal to Judge Hessen, okay?
Judge, I just feel that her superior officer, the magistrate, when I showed up in court the first time when she wasn't there, said that he didn't feel that this was something she should have written a ticket for. So I don't know if I was targeted because I'm
Well,
an
some
old
of these guys
person
want
or
to
my
run
car.
for Congress. Some of these guys want to run for Congress. I've been watching this my whole career. It's easy to criticize. Unless that officer was there, they ought not be yapping their gums. You can tell that officer that I said that. That's all I'm telling you.
Wow.
Amy Elizabeth Wright, 25W836-258. Ms. Wright, you can come on up here. If Mr. Crawford's ready, we're going to do LePage.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your name, ma'am?
Amy Elizabeth Wright.
All right, you're charged with resisting obstructing officer. It is alleged that you did commit that offense on February 5 of 25. You have the right to a lawyer.
I'd like one, sir.
Okay, we're going to set you up with a lawyer right now, and either way, you'll come back in front of me, okay?
Thank you.
Davion Carice Demps, 24W834-260. Your name, sir?
Davion Demps.
You're charged with retail fraud. You have the right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer?
Yes.
Why is everybody showing up? This was scheduled for 9. All right, go talk to them and you'll come back in front of me, okay? Thank you. Joseph Issa Cassis, 25W837-665A and B.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Your name?
My name is Joseph Cassis.
All right, just give me 1 second, Mr. Cassis.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to give you a new date. We're going to give you a new date. I just got to get your lawyer in here. So Lisa, we'll give him the second.
9:15.
April 2nd at 9:15. I'm not going to keep you here, okay? You can leave. Your lawyer's not made his way in yet. I'm just going to move on, okay? It's just an
Okay.
adjournment, so we'll put you on the next docket, April the 2nd at 9:15. Best of luck. Frank Joseph
Thank you.
Renna, 23B144026.
Thank-
Mr. Renna, your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. Frank Joseph Renna.
Is this yours, Mr. Crawford?
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Crawford representing Mr. Renna.
He's going to plead to suspended driving?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty here, the possible penalties are up to 500 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
What in the world is going on with this?
This is pretty bad. His connection's bad.
I'm glad that's a new facility. Mr. Renna, I can't even quite, I don't know what the static is or back there, but I'm going to try to do this with you.
Sorry, Your Honor. I don't know if there's
It's not
any.
your fault. What in the world is
A little bit of ruckus that's been going on over here lately this morning.
the possible penalties on this are up to 500 fines, 93 days jail, costs are all those 2 points. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
By pleading guilty, you're giving up your right to remain silent, your right to a trial of any kind, your right to question their witnesses and to bring in your own, to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. You plead guilty, you're giving up all those rights, you're waiving the presumption of innocence, waiving the requirement that the people prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. To the charge driving on a suspended, how do you plead?
Plead guilty, Your Honor.
On July 24 of 23, were you operating a motor vehicle and telegraph near Van Horn in Brownstown?
Yes, sir.
Was your license suspended?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Plea is accepted. Can you call for the deputy?
Yeah. Hey, Dad. I need the judge wants you here.
You gave me this, Your Honor, it's Deputy Pravanchi.
Deputy, I'm sorry to bother you. You're not the guy. You're not the. What in the world is going on with the acoustics there? They don't really expect us to handle court proceedings like this, do they? This has been going on for 2 days. I feel like I'm in the middle of a all-star game somewhere where everybody's going crazy.
Well, Tuesdays and Wednesday, we average over 30 defendants on Thursday and over 50 on Wednesdays. And we got everybody down here, and they're all booths are being taken. So the acoustics are just brick walls.
Man, maybe they should have thought about that before. They probably could have figured out with a little planning that we're going to have 30 to 50 every Tuesday. Maybe they needed to build more cells. If they think their judges are going to do this, we're supposed to be recording this nonsense. I can't even understand. I feel like I'm in a tunnel here.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it is a full house.
It's not your fault. I just would think people would kind of take a good look before they spend. How much they spent on that building, you know?
It's $500 million, I believe.
Yeah, that's a little bit of money. I mean, you would think that they would have this where I'm not, I don't get it. I cannot do this. I'm not going to do this. They're going to have to bring people down here or something, and then I'll have somebody call me up and saying, oh, you can't make them. I can't conduct a court proceeding like this. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm not blaming you. You're the messenger. You do a great job. I've told you how I feel about you, but this is just.
Because we have no other rules, and the only thing I can do a recommendation, Your Honor, is we can adjourn this till the afternoon. There'll be less, there's no.
I'm not going to do that. It's a driving on a suspended. It's not the point. The point is, it sounds like somebody dropped the ball down there again, which doesn't surprise me. So now they'll call me up about that one. Go ahead, Mr. Crawford. What do you want to say? Anything?
Your Honor, my client is hoping to get time served, Your Honor. He's a mason by trade, contractor, so this is the season where his work can really pick up.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to make it easy. I'm not sentencing you now. I'm giving you a personal bond. To do otherwise would not be fair to you. But listen to me. I'm going to have you released. We're going to set this sentence again.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you don't show up, you're going to get all. I'm telling you, you're not going to like what I'm going to do. You show up, I'll be reasonable with you, but I'm not conducting court under these circumstances.
I'll be here, Your Honor. I want to get this all taken care of. Get my life straightened up.
3,000 personal bond. Lisa, give me a new date, please, when Mr. Crawford will be here.
April 2nd at 8:30.
April 2nd, you have to show up at 8:30. You don't have any other holds, do you?
I don't know. I'm supposed to have court. I don't know about. I'm supposed to have court for Southgate. I thought it was supposed to be yesterday, but they never called me down. So I don't know.
Just make sure you show up on this April 2nd, okay?
I'll be there, Your Honor, I promise.
In person.
I will be here. Thank you, sir.
And you still want the notice sent to that West Vienna address?
Yes, sir. Please. Yeah.
Stop doing what you're doing. Good luck.
567 West Vienna. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon Mitchell Kolk. 23. Is he out there, Lisa? Are you Mr. Kolk?
Mr. Kolk is in here.
23B1435226A.
Good morning, Judge. As in Dave appears to have Mr. Kolk.
Come on up here, sir.
Mr. Kolk, state your name for the record.
Brandon Mitchell Kolk.
Good morning, or good afternoon and good morning, Your Honor.
What are you doing? You just showing up now a year and a half later, 2 years later?
Judge, he was incarcerated on different matters.
For how long?
Almost a year. 10 months.
I'm shocked. You act like this, I'm shocked. You were supposed to be here back on December 13th of 23, and then I had bond violations, and then you just absconded.
But did he, I believe he was incarcerated, you said, November 27th?
I was in jail from November 27th, 2023 till September 13th, 2024.
Where you been since then?
I've been on felony probation.
Well, why didn't you come in and talk to us?
Because I didn't even know these were still out there. I thought everything was taken care
You
of.
thought we just threw them in the garbage and said, you don't need to do anything? Come on, what do you mean you didn't think that these
He
were?
was under the impression, Judge, that these were all consolidated and then he had a global resolution, which he didn't realize till
A
after.
guy going to jail for a year knows enough about the system to know that they didn't just say, okay, you're in Detroit now, but we'll take the 1 and 33rd and we'll throw it in the garbage or run it concurrent. Give me a break. You know what's the worst part about this job, Mr. Kolk? Sometimes I feel like people talk to me like I don't know, maybe I don't look very smart, you know? I mean, I just get tired of this. People talk to me like I'm 10. What am I supposed to do now with him? I know nothing about what he's done. He's walked in here with no money. He needs a bond because he still didn't come in since September. You said what month you went into jail?
November 27th, 2023.
What'd you go into jail for that long for?
That was a domestic, and I turned myself in.
What, are you working?
I am currently in the process of getting SSI.
Who'd you come here with?
I came here with my girlfriend. Recent, honestly. And yeah, she's in the car right now, just waiting for me.
Judge, additionally, Mr. Kolk is due to check into rehab tomorrow for a minimum of 75 days. At a place called MVA Behavioral Health and Hope House in.
Is that part of a sentence?
Jonesville.
It was voluntary because I relapsed on fentanyl and meth last week. So I needed to go get help. So I decided.
Well, at least you're being honest. At least you're being honest. It's about as bad a stuff as you can use. You know that? Fentanyl. All right. I can do it by Zoom there. But I got to get a handle on this file. I don't have any idea what you've done. So here's what we're doing, an updated PSI. I'm going to try to do that today. You're going to have to wait around. I'll still give you a personal bond somehow. And we'll give them a date, Lisa, in about a month, please. And you can go over down the hall and get your new court date and then go over to probation. They'll interview you, okay?
All right, thank you.
April what? About a month. April 14th at 8:30?
Sure.
Okay. All right. That's April 14th at 8:30, okay?
Thank you.
And I will give you a personal bond. Why, I'm not sure. But maybe you learned something, maybe. From spending all that time in jail. That's a long time. You said, I mean, that's what, 10 months you were in there, right?
Yes. I did the couple programs too.
It was more than a domestic violence then, right?
Yeah, it was a possession of methamphetamine, assault with a deadly weapon, operating while intoxicated, domestic violence. All found within a global resolution.
Well, you got all the lingo down. Global resolution, everything, huh? Assault with a deadly weapon. So they charged you with felonious assault. Was that on the girl?
No, it's not on the girl now. I caught a case in Taylor where I hit somebody with my car.
All right, go down the hall, get your date, and then go over to probation. We'll set that up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, he's got another matter with Judge Hessen. Can we finish that and then have him go to probation?
Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. Do you have any more in front of me here? Yeah.
Mr. Call?
No, you.
Yeah, I've got two more for Judge.
Which ones?
I've got the one right now. Mr.
Brandon
Montgomery.
Miseleff? Brandon Miseleff?
Yeah. Yeah, Miseleff and Mr. Tuttle, and then Mr.
Well, let's do them all. Go down. You can wait outside for him, okay? Brandon Miseleff. Brandon Christopher Miseleff, 24F2422829.
Good morning, Judge. Mazen Gates, appearing on behalf of Mr. Miseleff.
Mr. Miseleff?
McCullough, sorry.
I'm sorry?
McCullough.
McCall. What made you see the light and come in today? You haven't been here. You're supposed to be here back in November and December.
Yeah, I recently moved.
Moved to where?
To Rockwood.
All right, from where?
Flat Rock.
Okay, so why weren't you here?
The notices that I were getting were just getting piled up by mail.
Piled up notices.
Yeah, so, and.
Piled up. I want to let my mortgage payments pile up. You know that? I want to.
Right.
Judge, according to Mr.
What is he doing? Is he standing mute and waiting for
Yes,
formal reading? Where does he work at?
He works, Judge, he currently does snow removal and landscaping. And he also right now does property management through the same company. So he's been with that company roughly for about a year.
No, that one's been since.
Hang on one second. Just let me break something down here, and I'm gonna Flat Rock Family Dollar Store. I'm gonna give you a personal bond here somehow, some way. I don't know why. $1,000. And he's standing mute, waiving formal reading, correct?
Yes.
Not guilty pleas entered. I'll set it for pretrial. Bond conditions are as follows: no contact with employees of the Flat Rock Family Dollar Store. You cannot enter 26765 Telegraph in Flat Rock. No contact with prosecution witnesses. You cannot leave the state without consent or violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. You're going to go down. First, you're going to fill out a petition for a court-appointed lawyer. Then you're going to go down the hall and get your notice, and we're going to give you a notice for April what, Lisa?
We can do tomorrow or April 3rd.
We can do April 3rd at 9 o'clock, good?
Sure.
Okay, 9 o'clock. April.
Judge, there's also a pair of civil infractions.
Yeah, well, he went into default on those. He's in default, so, I mean, I don't know what he wants me to do with those. He's got, I can adjourn him for him.
No, they gotta be paid, and if there's nothing that can be.
Do you have the money to pay these?
Not, I was gonna put it on, I didn't know
Ask for
what.
a payment plan.
Yeah,
Judge, we'd ask that.
Wait a second, slow down. Does he have the money to pay these?
Not today, Judge. He was gonna ask to be put on a payment plan.
I didn't even know this wasn't my vehicle. I had no idea. I'm paying these tickets for somebody else.
Well, you were driving.
I was driving, but under the impression that everything was.
When can you pay these?
Couple weeks, month, maybe. Like I said, I just started full time. I was working two
You
part.
pay 50 per week, okay? We'll start this with the no proof of insurance. I'll start that on the 28th. Can you start that next Friday?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
And then you can pay the fines and costs on the other case.
Yeah. Now, do those have to be paid in full in order to get a notice sent to Secretary of State for release of license?
You pay that no insurance and I'll be happy to, you pay that and pay your clearance. We'll lift that suspension.
Okay.
I'll let you pay that one first.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Just go down the hall, get your notice.
Okay.
Take that too. Ken Wildjet, Secorn, 5W36120.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Crawford, representing
This
defendant.
is yours.
Ma'am, state your name for the record.
Good morning, sir. Kenwal Sikan.
She's gonna plead to retail. What happened last time?
Your Honor, I believe we would come against some time constraints of the court. My client had some issues kind of understanding the questions of the court, and the court wanted to adjourn it. So it's back here today.
Is that, okay, so now it's gonna be a.
It's the same deal. Same deal. She's going to plead to it under, I believe, 741.
771, you mean?
I'm sorry.
I still need her to, can you get him to change the stip form?
Okay.
And she's gonna have to fill out a new advice of rights for me, okay? Since that was dated March the 5th.
Understood.
Gwen, you have?
I've got Mr. Montgomery, who's the Brownstown judge, and I've got Mr. Tuttle, who's
Courtney Montgomery, 19B 702 166. Name?
Mr. Montgomery, state your name.
Courtney Montgomery. All right.
Good morning, Judge Mazengate, up here on behalf of Mr. Montgomery.
So he's charged with failure to attend the scheduled probation instructional on February 4 and again on February 20 of 2020. So do you understand that, Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
You could be incarcerated for up to 180 days on this case. Let's see here. The plea was to attempted child abuse fourth, which is a 1 year, but because of the attempt, it's reduced to 6 months. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You're presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty by a preponderance of the evidence. You have the right to question their witnesses, to bring in your own, to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and there will not be a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have the right to a lawyer. I'll be happy to give you one at public expense. Would you like one?
Yes.
What am I saying? I'm sorry.
It's a show costume.
I know. All right. What is he going to do on this? I'm sorry. He's got a lawyer. What's he going to do on this? I apologize.
He'll plead guilty with an explanation on this, Judge.
Is that what you want to do, sir, is plead guilty?
I
It's
would
either
like to
not
have.
guilty with a hearing or guilty with an explanation. If you want to plead not guilty, I'll get probation in here, and they can tell me whether or not you were at your instructional appointment on February 4 and then February 20.
So now I'll plead guilty.
To the charge that you failed to attend your scheduled. To the charge that you had failed to attend your scheduled probation instructional appointment on February 20. How do you plead?
I plead guilty.
And again on April the 20th when they rescheduled, or February the 20th when they rescheduled it. How do you plead to that?
I will have to plead guilty. Wasn't there?
Did you fail to appear on those dates?
Yes, I did.
Anybody force you to plead guilty? I'm gonna need somebody from probation on this.
No.
And it's not.
Hey, John.
I'm gonna accept your plea. I find it to be an accurate plea. This is an attempt child abuse charge. This is serious. Why didn't he show up?
Judge, at the time, he had left the residence. According to Mr. Montgomery, he did not receive any of the notices.
Okay.
And then at that time, it was right around when COVID, when COVID hit, Judge. So there was a lot of confusion as far as procedure and policy with certain courts and whatnot. But Mr. Montgomery at this point did not even realize that he still had this warrant out because from what he recalls, he was only required to pay just the fines and costs, which I explained to him was not the case. So
how could he
here.
miss that? I told him to do the domestic violence with 26-week follow-up. Pay restitution, no contact, no firearms, pay his fines and costs. I ordered 45 days in jail, so something really troubled me.
You gave him 45 days credit, correct, Judge?
I know, well, he'd been in there and I gave him credit for 24 and made him serve 21 more, so something really bothered me. Can I, Ms. Wiles, your name?
Elizabeth Osprey, Your Honor.
Can I see the screening report or PSI? What did I order here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Either one, let's see.
PSI, it looks like, Judge.
March 11th of 20, I don't think COVID had really began. It might have someplace. Maybe, I don't know what to tell you. This is terrible record. How old was Mr. Lawson?
15, 16. That was my son, 16. He's 20 now.
Said you punched him in the face and ribs.
My son pretty much bigger than me and tried to like attack me.
We never saw him.
His case was actually with Mr. Rojas at the time. He never reported after his release from jail. Mr. Rojas did attempt to reach him on 2 separate occasions by sending him notices to appear. When he didn't appear, the show cause was issued.
What would you like to say?
Judge, like Mr. Montgomery stated, he had left that address and moved at that point and did not receive the notices that were sent by probation. At that time, he said that COVID had just hit and there was a lot of closures and confusion. I think what happened, Judge, I don't know if there was any intent to disobey the court's order, but I think he may have just gotten caught up in the shuffle of everything that's happened, and he's just getting around now to resolving these matters.
Well, he's not getting around to it. He's getting around to it because he was picked up on a warrant, right? I mean, let's be honest about it. It's not like you didn't voluntarily walk into Brownstown today, the police department, did you?
No, I was picked up on a warrant.
Yeah, I mean.
In his defense, Judge, he's had, according to Mr. Montgomery, he's had no other convictions or charges, rather, or interaction with law enforcement since this incident. He is currently employed, Judge.
COVID hadn't started when your first appointments were scheduled. Your first appointments were scheduled on February 4 and February 20. I sent you on January the 14th of 20. Really, COVID didn't start until March. You didn't show up then. You didn't show up for your show cause that was scheduled for March the 11th. You knew you had just been sentenced here. You blew it off. And there's not much I can do for you. There's just really not. I mean, you got 180 days you're looking at. Why would you have done this? See your money on this, Lisa?
I believe he was.
When I looked this one.
7:45.
Does he work?
He's working currently, Judge, correct. He works through a temp agency and he also does home renovation, home improvement. So he is currently employed.
Detective, your name, and can you tell me then where he was picked up and for what last night or the day before?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Crystal Tula, or good morning. Crystal Tula is Detective Brownstown Police Department. Your Honor, it's my understanding he was picked up from another facility. I don't know what for or why he was at that other facility.
Well, I don't want to quiz him about what's going on, but it looks like
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
It looks like.
I'm sorry, if I may, it looks like on 3/7 of 2025, he was charged, or I'm sorry, 3/8 of 2025, he was charged following his arrest for aggravated domestic violence. And on 3/18/2025, that was dismissed out of the 36th District Court. My guess is that we picked him up from their custody yesterday.
Yeah.
According to Mr. Montgomery, he's been incarcerated since March 6th, Judge.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Nothing else, just that he has a 10-year-old daughter, Judge. I mean, he is fully employed. He understands, I've talked to him, I've explained the situation to him. To be quite honest, my impression of what he told me is this completely slipped his mind at this point because he didn't receive the notices and it's been so long. But he is willing to abide by whatever the court orders and he's willing to complete whatever the court does recommend. Isn't that correct, sir?
Oh, yes, I just need time to pay and I'll do the classes.
We talked about that's been 5 years, so that your probation is most likely gonna get revoked.
I'm troubled because it's child abuse. And I'm troubled because you didn't do anything to get yourself rehabilitated. And I'm troubled because you just blew this off completely. And I'm gonna assume that that case was rightfully dismissed, not because a victim didn't want to prosecute, because you either weren't there or did nothing wrong. And that's fine. The fact is you're still indebted to the court. And I'm not worried about the money as much as I am the probation that you should have done that would have maybe helped ensure that you don't engage in this type of behavior again. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what compels people to do what they do. I don't know why somebody would just blow this off. I ask myself that 8 times a day typically. Probation's revoked. You'd pay costs of $845. I'm adding 100 on. You're to serve 180 days, credit 46 for 134. If you pay costs of $845, I will suspend 90 of the 134, requiring you to only serve 44 days. So if you pay the 845, you'll be out in 44. Otherwise, you're going to serve 134 days. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. I wish you well, sir.
Judge, would you consider giving him credit for the time that he's?
I'm giving him credit for yesterday. That's the best I'm going to do. I'm sorry.
How will I be able to pay? How will I be able to pay while I'm incarcerated?
I don't know. You should have thought about that before you absconded for 5 years. You can call people, they'll let you call people. Maybe somebody can come up with it. I hope they can, but listen to me. You got nobody to blame but yourself here.
But I never got the notices. I never knew that I was supposed to come.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir. All right, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. I don't want to hear it. Good luck. Gwen. 25W36613. Then I'm taking Mr. LePage. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is how you doing, ma'am? Can you speak English at all, ma'am?
Speak very little English, and I'm her husband.
Whose thigh?
That's her. Me.
I see. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. There's no sense in us going on this today. I'm going to get a Vietnamese interpreter because I really am required by law to do that on something like this. We're going to get a Vietnamese interpreter, and we'll probably have to put this out a month. Will you tell her to go down the hall and she'll get her notice and we'll have an interpreter ready for her when she comes back, okay?
Okay.
Lisa, what about a month or so you want to do?
April 16th
maybe?
at 9.
April 16th at 9 o'clock. Okay, go down the hall and you'll get your notice.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy Elizabeth Wright, 25W836258. Good morning. They're gonna amend this to careless driving?
Yes, sir.
Your name?
Is Amy Elizabeth Wright?
All right, so I have to first arraign you. So do you stand mute and waive formal reading of the complaint for purposes of arraignment? Yes?
Yes.
So now they're reducing this to a civil infraction, but it is 3 points. I want you to understand that.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand that?
Yes, sir.
So you understand if you plead to careless driving, I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss the resist and obstruct.
Yes, sir.
To the charge of careless driving, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
I'll accept the plea, dismiss the R&O. 225 is your total. You have to go down, and she might need some information from you. I don't know what else they had on the ticket, but you can pay that now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, go down the hall and talk to my judicial clerk. Thank you. Demps. Davion Carice Demps. I'll take yours now. Don't go anywhere. Mr. Demps, come on up here, sir. Your name?
Avion Demps.
Did you talk to a lawyer?
Yes.
Who's your lawyer?
I just met him. I forgot his name. He's a Caucasian man. He came in and out of here a second ago.
Have a seat, right? You know what? Have a seat right at the table there. Alan LePage. Alan Michael LePage. 25W835484. Come on up here, Mr. LePage. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Doing okay, sir.
Your name?
State your name for the record.
Alan Michael LePage.
Mike L. Crawford representing Mr. LePage.
So he is going to plead guilty to disorderly person, and that will be under section 771.1, right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Is that what you want to do?
He is talking to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty to this, these are the possible penalties. Up to 500 fines, 90 days jail. Costs are all of those. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign, read, and understand this advice of rights form in my hand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and there will not be a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. To the charge of disorderly person, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Were you in the city of Woodhaven on February 5 of 25 on Gudith near West?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you refuse the officer's commands to get handcuffed?
I have.
Did you refuse to get handcuffed? Did you pull yourself away from them?
No, Your Honor. I was yelling at them. I'm disabled. I got a brain disease too, Your Honor. I'm blind and deaf, and I have brain disease. So my arm does not work the way everybody else's arms work. And they weren't grasping that concept. I was trying to explain it to them when they came over and approached my car, that I was trying to get my arm behind my back, but they pinned me against the car. I had no way to get my arm out. So I went up to the scene, and yes, I did yell at the officer why my pregnant daughter was in the car, in the back of the police car.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
Did anybody force you to plead guilty, sir?
No, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is under 771.1.
Yes, Your Honor.
Doesn't sound like it was the end of the world here.
Trying to protect his record, Your Honor. Just trying to be held accountable.
No, I get it. I get it. I'm just telling you, if you don't want to do 771, I'm gonna, if you don't want to do 771.1, I'm gonna fine them and get them out of here. If you do, then you do, and I'll be glad to put them on probation for 11 months.
Your Honor, can we recall this matter? Give me 10 minutes to explain that to him.
Do you understand what I just told your lawyer?
No, Your Honor.
That's why I need to talk with him.
Okay, I just want you to know if you, well, you go talk to him. Yeah, I think it's better. You go talk to him, okay?
Be real brief.
But I'm not gonna do anything other than fine him, and it's not gonna be a lot.
I understand what you're saying, Your Honor.
Thank you. Joaquin. Alyssa Therese Joaquin, 25W836204.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mike L. Well, good afternoon, Your Honor. Mike L. Crawford representing Ms. Joaquin stands tomorrow.
Alyssa Joaquin.
They recommend a fine of $500. Does their civil infraction call for a $500 fine?
Yes, Your Honor, through,
That ordinance says you can fine $500 on a civil infraction?
up to $500, yes, due to the circumstances.
What are you doing?
Sir, I am pleading,
Were you the one that was all emotional last time, or were you the one in traipsing in here with a police officer outfit?
Sir, I came just from duty. I am a police officer, sir.
I know. Why would you be doing this?
My daughter is very ill. She has surgery next week. There's a lot going on that I don't think has been explained.
The original charge was parental
Hang on,
responsibility.
your appearance?
Your Honor, Josh West appearing on behalf of the city of Woodhaven. Your
Well, wait a minute. Was your child not going to school because the child was ill? Or was the child not going to school because you weren't making the child to go to school because you didn't want to deal with the fact that you're going to have a struggle with a young child that didn't want to go to school?
No, sir, my child is ill, sir. She has surgery scheduled for the 27th.
How many times did your child miss school?
Quite a lot, sir. But I have
Wait a minute.
documentation of
Listen.
all of it.
This is not going to be the biggest case I've ever seen,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
But it's important.
Yes, sir, of
It's
course.
important to get our kids to school.
Sir, yes, sir.
They don't graduate from high school, they got no chance. They
Sir, yes,
better,
sir.
they better be the grandchild of a trust fund baby. They better be a trust fund baby, or they better win the lottery, or at minimum, they better marry a heart surgeon.
Completely understand, sir.
Okay, so wait a second. Let's stop a second. Just let me finish.
Yes, sir.
You're making statements now that are making it sound, and if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. You're making it sound like you didn't do anything wrong here, that you have an ill child. Am I reading you right, or am I reading you wrong?
You are completely correct, sir.
So if this child has been missing school because there's excused absences, and I don't care if she's a police officer, a firefighter, the worst criminal in the world. I mean, we can't have people pleading to things if they did nothing wrong. And I can't imagine a scenario where if somebody's child missed many school days because of an illness that's requiring a surgery, and she's been battling that, or he's been battling that, or whoever's been battling that, they shouldn't have to plead to anything, including a civil infraction. On the other hand, if the medical condition just arose in the last 2 months and the child wasn't going in September, October, November, December, well, then we got some talking to do.
Yes, sir.
So, am I missing something here, guys?
Well, Your Honor, it is very true that her child is suffering from a significant illness that is still ongoing, and yet.
When did it start?
This started back in the summertime, September, right around the time that the school year started. Everything.
How many days did the child miss, Mr. Prosecutor?
There were several days, Judge.
How many several?
I can ask the lieutenant.
Why don't you get him in here? Did the child miss days last year? How old's the child?
My child is 11. She was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, where she wasn't being able to walk. She was in physical therapy, and then
was that last year too?
That was last year. Then during the summertime, she developed the GI issue that we don't know if it's connecting or whatnot. But she has a surgery with a scope. They're trying to figure out what's going on.
This is from. Okay.
So they don't know if it's something related or if she's got a genetic condition going on. My other student, my other child, I mean, he's on the honor roll. He is on perfect attendance. It's her that has been having the ongoing.
I can't imagine.
I've met with the principal, sir, and I've had, medical plans and emergency plans, and they were even going to call for an ambulance at the school at one time. And just one day I was hit with a letter stating that, I guess her father, which he has nothing really to do with her, called the school saying she's making it up. And that's when they sent me a letter.
Can you tell me,
Yes, Your Honor, I can tell you now. I did talk to my officer in charge, Lieutenant Toller. The child has 38 unexcused absences from the beginning of the school year until the end of January of this year. We also called the school today, and the child has been out of school the last 6 days. So the people do have concerns about the unexcused absences, Your Honor.
She does have another doctor's appointment later on today,
Where is
which
she now?
she's at home,
Where was she yesterday?
at home.
So she can't go to school at all?
No, she
Do you have
is,
letters from a doctor that tell us this?
yes, sir.
Well, Judge, the defense attorney did provide some documentation. There's a letter from the U of M doctor saying the child can return to school as of December of this year. There's also another letter provided today that says the child can return on March 10th. The concern we have is the exact extent of what the medical condition is. And the defendant should be advised also that the school does provide teachers to go to the home to get the child's education going. And there's also so many alternatives to make sure the child is getting educated.
I have met with the principal, vice principal, I believe, they call Miss B. She never let me know anything about anybody coming to the house and doing any of that. We just set up a 504 plan, which I guess is an emergency plan. I do have a note from her primary care physician that says that she has an ongoing condition that we will not know any answers of until the 27th, until exploratory surgery. So she's going to continue to have flare-ups that are requiring her to not even be able to pretty much walk, get out of bed. At this time.
I know,
like
but
said,
you need to provide medical documentation.
I have that, sir.
There's 1 or 2 or 3 things that are going on.
Yes, sir.
If this child has missed that many days and it had to do with an illness, all of them,
Yes, sir.
you ought not be pleading anything.
Yes, sir.
If this child missed that many days and a good number of them had nothing to do with the illness,
Yes, sir.
I have a problem with you getting a deal
Of
of
course.
civil infraction. I don't care if you're a police officer,
Sir,
judge,
yes,
lawyer, doctor, dentist. I do.
Sir, yes, sir. Understandable. And
You
I
have to
agree.
call me sir, sir, yes, sir. I'm not in the military.
I'm sorry. It's just,
And I'm only telling you that I don't know what to believe here or think. It seems to me that if you got letters from doctors and took them into principals and took them to the police station or the prosecutor and showed them, listen, my doctor says this child could have only gone to school 3 times in the last 12 years when they didn't go.
yes, sir.
Well, that's not a big deal. But if they have missed, would you say 50 some days in a few months and the child's not going and the child could be going, we got a big problem here.
Of course.
I don't feel comfortable right now doing anything on this. I mean, unless you're newer here for these, Mr. Hunt. If this is going to be your practice to give them, and that's fine if it is. If this is going to be your practice to give them civil infractions with $500 fines on the first offense, that's fine. I just don't want to see the next one, who's an unemployed fisherman, get the same thing. Or I don't want to see them get something different, is what I'm trying to tell you, like have to plead to a misdemeanor. That's all. I'm not suggesting there's any hanky-panky going on. I'm just telling y'all that if this can be your practice, no problem. But if you're not going to come in with these in the future, and I don't mean to be, I'm not insinuating anything. I just want to make sure. Because I've never seen one of these reduced to a civil infraction. I've seen them dismissed. I'm fine as long as we have consistent treatment. I'm fine as long as we have consistent treatment on 99.999% of this stuff.
May I say a few?
Sure.
Judge, there are, I believe, 2 or 3 other parental responsibility cases, and I've talked to Mr. Crawford. My offer is the same on all the cases today.
All right.
So I'm treating each defendant equally.
Okay, good enough. I got it. And I would think you would. I just wondered. I haven't seen these before. Ma'am, do you want to plead to this civil infraction?
Sir, I would like to plead responsible just to have it finished and over with.
To the charge of Municipal civil infraction under 96-50. Is that just violation of parental responsibility? Makes it a civil infraction? Is that all that is?
Your Honor, I researched the code today while I was handling these cases. That's just a general civil infraction. The fine is up to $500 is the maximum fine.
All right, to that charge, ma'am, how do you plead, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
Plea is accepted, $500. Now, please, in the original charge dismissed. Now, listen carefully.
Yes, sir.
That child needs to go to school.
Of course, sir.
I don't care how we get the child in school, whether it's online, whether teachers come there, I don't care.
Yes, sir.
And I wish you well. I'm sure that's a very difficult situation. Trying to deal with that kind of thing with one of your own children has to be horrific to deal with. We still have to do the best we can and make sure she gets to school, okay?
Of course.
And I wish you well.
Thank you very
Can you
much.
pay that today or do you need time?
Your Honor, my client needs a payment arrangement. We were going to propose that she pay $50 today and $50 every week until the balance is paid. And starting on March 28th for the second payment.
$50 now, 50 per week. I'll start that beginning March the 28th. Good luck. Thank you very much, counsel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mr. LePage, let's do Mr. LePage. For Mr. LePage. Do you want, but you need to talk to him.
Take care of this second one. Sequel. Yeah.
Ken Walczyk, Seacon, 25W836-120.
Yes, sir.
Michael Crawford representing the defendant states to my right, station name now.
Ken Walczyk, Seacon.
She's going to plead to this retail fraud charge under 771.1, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Is that what you want to do, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
If you do that, the possible penalties are up to 500 fines, 90 days jail, costs are all those. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign, read, and understand the advice of rights? Ma'am?
Yes, sir.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and there will not be a hearing or a trial of any kind. You understand that?
Yes,
Need
sir.
a probation order. To the charge, retail fraud, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
Were you in fact at the Walmart in Woodhaven at 23800 Allen Road in the city of Woodhaven on January 19 of 25?
Yes, sir.
What did you do? You walked past the register without paying for items.
Yes, sir.
Did you intend to permanently deprive Walmart of that property?
But it's,
Did you intend to steal the property? You weren't going to go out in the parking lot and bring it back, were you?
no, I was not.
Were you intending to steal the property when you went through the cashier line?
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole? Pardon?
Are you on probation or parole?
No,
Anybody in the world forced you to plead guilty?
no,
Have you ever been in trouble before?
no, never.
Please accept that I'll take it under section 771.1. What's bringing this on, ma'am? Let's go ahead. I'm going to sentence her now. I don't see any need to.
Well, Your Honor, after talking with my client, what it would appear to be going on, Your Honor, she was under a great deal of stress at the time. She was in a hurry trying to pack and get ready. Her father had passed away in India, and she had to get out and get a bunch of different items in preparation for leaving, I believe it was the next day.
Yeah.
And then she just made an error of judgment in her haste, Your Honor. She doesn't do this type of thing, won't do it again. She's
Yes, sir. I know.
just overwhelmed.
Yeah, I know, but you still intended to steal the property, right? I mean, I'm sorry about your father. I really am.
Thank you, sir.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, Your Honor. To the extent that the court is considering a length of probation, we would ask for the minimum, that be non-reported.
11 months probation, that's the agreement. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law. If you change your address, place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You have to report as directed. I have to charge you $220 in probation fees. I'll go light on the fines. 50 fines, 40 costs, 75 victim's rights fee, $50 justice assessment. So fines and costs here equal $215 plus your probation fees. Your total is $435. You do 1 day of community service by April the 30, eight hours of community service, ma'am. By then, I'll be glad to dismiss your case on motion to prosecutor.
Thank you, sir.
Lisa, what do you have for me?
February
review
4th
day.
at 9 o'clock.
So February 4th, I can't believe we're talking 26 at 9 o'clock. You have to come back here. We'll have a review hearing. If you're compliant, the case will be dismissed. So you understand,
Yes, sir.
you do all that, you stay out of Walmart. You're not to enter any Walmart store, specifically 23800 Allen Road in Woodhaven. You come back here on February the 4th of 26 at 9. You'll have to report to probation a couple times. You have to do 8 hours community service, but you pay that, stay out of trouble, come back that day, pay your fines, and you're all good. You have all this to pay?
Your Honor, she will pay that today.
You pay this now and you'll meet with probation. You'll get your notice down the hall. I sincerely wish you well, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck. No more though, okay? Davion Carice Dex, 24W834260. Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. Michael A. Carmen, P73824 on behalf of the defendant.
Name, sir?
Davion Dempsey.
All right, so for purposes of arraignment, how does he wish to proceed?
We'll stand mute, waive the formal reading, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna enter a not guilty plea for you, sir. You posted a $300 bond. I don't know where you've been, why you weren't here. I don't think I wanna know. At least you posted a bond. I'll continue your bond. You're not to enter the property address at 23800 Allen Road in the city of Woodhaven or any other Walmart. No contact with prosecution witnesses. You cannot leave the state without consent or violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
All right, so that's what I'm gonna do, and no contact with employees of that Walmart. You understand that, right?
Yes.
Now, you do have to go over and get printed and photographed, and I'm preparing an order. You have to go over and get printed and photographed by the Woodhaven Police Department before 2 o'clock today, okay? Before 2 o'clock. So we're gonna give you an order for that. You're gonna take it over to Woodhaven. They're going to print you and photograph you. And you have to have that done today by 2 o'clock. Any questions?
No.
All right, you can go down the hall, get your date. We'll go from there. Any questions?
Sir.
Okay, we're all set. Good luck.
Thanks, sir.
LePage, Ellen Michael LePage, 25W835-484. Everybody's name?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michael Crawford, Mr. LePage is approaching.
Good morning again, Mr. LePage. Your name?
State your name for the record.
Alan LePage. How does he wish to proceed?
Your Honor, my client, upon reflection, would like to plead guilty to disorderly conduct alone.
No 771.
No 771, yes.
And you understand that? You understand the conviction will enter now, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
But I'm just gonna get rid of this. It doesn't sound like this was anything real malicious. Did I let everybody finish, or do you have anything else, Mr. Crawford?
No, Your Honor. I think
Sir, anything? Anything you'd like to say? Mr. LePage?
No, Your Honor.
100 fines, 25 costs, 75 victims' rights, $50 justice assessment, 250 or 30 days. Can you pay that?
Can you pay $250 today, sir?
Yes.
We're done with it. Good luck.
Just go up front and pay.
People against Wilcox, Candace Nicole Wilcox, 25W836-440. Wilcox, name, ma'am?
Candace Nicole Wilcox.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michael Crawford representing Ms. Wilcox.
All right, so this is going to be a plea under 9650. That's civil infraction, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Agreed upon fines and costs, 500 with the parental responsibility to be dismissed, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
To the charge of violation of 96-50 of the Woodhaven Code of Ordinances, how do you plead? Responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
Parental responsibility charge is dismissed, $500 your total. You go down the hall and take care of that, and you're all set.
Your
You have
Honor,
all that to pay?
She can't pay all that today, Your Honor. My client's going to need a payment arrangement, Your Honor.
How much can she pay today?
She can pay $100 on March the 26th, and she can pay $100 every 2 weeks thereafter.
How much?
She can pay $100 on March
26th.
26th, and then $100 every 2 weeks thereafter.
All right. Pay $100 by March the 26th, $100 bi-weekly in this case. by April the 9th, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
If you need more time, call the court. We'll go on Zoom, or you can come in here on or before the due date. I'll be glad to give you an extension, all right?
Okay, thank you,
Keep
sir.
those kids in school. Lachari Monette Hayes, 25W836203. Same with her, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Michael Crawford representing the defendant who's approaching. State your name for record.
LaSheree Monahan.
So she's going to plead under the Woodhaven Code of Ordinances 96-50, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
The parental responsibility to be dismissed, true?
True, Your
To
Honor.
that charge of violation of section 56 or 96-50, ma'am, how do you plead? Responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
Plea is accepted. Original charge dismissed. $500. Can you pay that today?
Your Honor, my client cannot pay that today.
When can she pay this?
Time. She can pay $100, Your Honor, on April the 2nd, and she can pay $100 every 2 weeks thereafter.
$100 by 4/2,
Yes.
and then $100 bi-weekly beginning April the 16th. If you need more time, call the court. We'll go on Zoom, or you can come in on or before the due date. I'll give you all the extensions you need. Just don't
Okay.
ignore me, okay?
Thank you. I just
Right.
have one more question. The
Okay.
the misdemeanor, is that coming off or?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
dismissed.
I just wanted to make
I'm
sure.
dismissing that.
Okay, thank you.
You're all right. Ryan Bruder.
Thank you. sir.
Ryan Emmerich Bruder, 24W834255. Your name?
Brian Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michael Crawford representing Mr. Bruder. Mr. Bruder, state your name for the record.
Brian Bruder.
Where do you live now, sir? Are you out of treatment?
Yes, I am out of treatment. I still live in sober living in Kentucky.
Okay. Well, why didn't you send back the screening report? They said they sent that to you, and you only completed one of the 2 packets. They sent it back and they didn't get anything back.
Well, Your Honor, my client reports that he actually only received one. He received one packet of 7 pages, and he believes he did send that back. And according
Would
to
you
my
do me a
reading-
favor?
Yes.
Take this over to probation. Have them work it out with them.
Yes.
Lisa, we'll probably do a month again so we can get the paperwork back and forth.
April 16th at 8:30.
And just make sure they know, make sure that they read this, okay?
Yes, Your
Their
Honor.
notes. April 16th, 8:30, sir.
Thank you
Good luck
very
to
much,
you.
sir.
Make sure you send everything back. Thanks.